What's up to the people of the lounge? I'm Nat, and today I have the pleasure of sitting down with
Shaykh Hanif, Feed the Family.
For the last 3 weeks, Hanif, you've been touring Europe as part of the Heal the World tour with Westside Gunn, as part of what you said, Feed the Family.
Yeah.
What started in Boston has now taken you across multiple countries, connecting with crowds through the love of music. You guys just did the last show of the tour in Manchester last night. Looking back on it all, how has that experience been for you?
It's been life-changing for me, like being able to travel the world with my bros and see places and touch people that I never even heard of or knew was out there. It's been like a great experience for me just to get out there and do something that I love. This is my passion. This is something I love to do. So it's dope. It's dope. It's definitely life-changing for real.
In what ways do you feel like it has been life-changing?
Just knowing that some words that I put to a beat have a connection and resonate with people that some of them English isn't even their first language. So I think that that's like the most like eye-opening thing for me. It's like you have a power, you know what I mean? So I love it. I'm truly grateful for real.
You said it, you have the power, or you have a power because people listen to your music and take it in and resonate. Do you feel like the things that you mentioned, you have a certain responsibility to talk about it a certain type of way?
Yeah, I'm extremely intentional with like everything I do, from the music to the art to everything, like cover arts, like everything that I put out there, I'm intentional with. So I feel like there is a responsibility for specifically rappers. Like we have a responsibility to put out a certain message so that people can. The people that do listen and that do take it, for me personally, I don't want to just put out negativity in there, you know, even if because it's really just me talking my life story, even if parts of my life story were negative or may have, you know, seem negative, it's that's just a small part of it, you know what I mean? And then using that to reel the people in and then give them some sort of positive message, if that's hope or if that's just like overcoming your circumstances, whatever that may be. That's really my the overarching themes that I want to get across with my music.
And I think you do that really well because, as you said, there are some themes of, you know, crime, but I feel like the overall theme is also, especially faith, that has changed your life. You know, you tell these stories as something that you've learned from, and now you're a better and changed man. How do you feel your music has changed in that regard after you became Muslim?
Yeah, I mean, even if you kind of listen to earlier works, there were hints of that. But now I have, even just being older as well and going through circumstances and have a greater understanding of life and how people receive music. That's something that I'm extremely intentional, like I said. So it's more prominent now. It's more like in your face now, whereas before it might have just been subtle. It's more like, if you look at, like I said, like cover art or something like that, it's more like, okay, this dude is saying something. We might not get it off the first listen, but you can kind of tell, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking about Islam. Do you feel like it has been a bit difficult for you, especially being a practicing Muslim, praying 5 times a day, now that you've been on tour for the past 2-3 weeks? Like, how do you do that?
Nah, for me, that's actually where I find solace and peace. Like, the past 3 weeks have been extremely hectic. Normally, my schedule is pretty hectic anyway, but now it's multiplied. So we're on planes and trains, and you know what I mean. So trying to duck off and find a place to pray, you know what I mean. Even like backstage before, before a show, something like that. It's about like but it's finding a way to make it happen. But it's definitely it helps me more than it's a hindrance to me.
Is that because I know you mentioned that you pray right before going on the stage. Do you feel like it's a way for you to get grounded and focused? And because there's a lot of things going on around you, there's a lot of people. Do you feel like it's some sort of meditation for you?
Yeah, so kind of a way, just prayer for me in general is a way to block out everything, just like in day-to-day life, not even just like before a show or something like that, just period. It's just a way to block out whatever is going on, whatever material things of this dunya are going on. It allows me to just like, okay, Allahu Akbar, Allah is greater than everything that I'm dealing with or that is out here. So
I feel like there's a lot of rappers that reference religion and especially Islam, but in your case, I can definitely sense that it's something like you're practicing Muslim. So do you feel like there's some things that are too sacred for you to talk about in your music?
I don't think that there's some things that are too sacred. I'm knowledgeable. I'm not the most knowledgeable, so I'm not gonna be sitting giving like fatwas and like things like that. But I feel like it's important though, having this understanding and this knowledge of God, and and I think that that's important. So I think that it's important to kind of display that and give that to, put that in the art, you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's why I felt it was important to rap under my Muslim name, Hanif, because I want people to know when they see my name, they like, oh, that brother's Muslim. I want to kind of lead with that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Whereas sometimes you'll hear like a lot of rappers, you'll find out, oh, he's Muslim, like, oh, damn, I didn't even know that. Yeah. You know what I mean? I kind of want that to be be like in your face, like, yeah, he's Muslim, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And as I mentioned, you've been performing with the group Feed the Family. Has this tour taught you guys anything about you guys as a group, something new?
This is our first tour, but we have been moving around and different city to city, state to state, performing and things like that. So we just have a great brotherhood, bro, and it's like being just constantly with one another. It actually just reinforces our bonds, honestly. It allows us to really understand, like, depend on one another. You know what I'm saying? We're in a whole nother country, and we're in a bigger group of people, but it's like at the end of the day, it's us four. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That it's like, okay, we just got to make sure, if anything, make sure we good, we straight. But it just reinforces the bond, though, for sure.
And you're talking about the brotherhood that you guys have. What has Feed the Family taught you about brotherhood?
Feed the Family taught me, brotherhood is not being a brother when everything is going right. You know what I'm saying? It's about, what about when one of us is down or in a dark place or going through something? How can we be there for one another? You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's one of the biggest things. You know what I mean? Like uplifting one another, for sure. Yeah.
I've observed you guys on stage, and it feels like you're definitely good at doing that. And also, as we spoke about earlier, like the ping pong between you guys, I don't feel like that would truly work as good if you didn't have such a good bond with each other.
For sure. That's just the chemistry, and I think that's like our biggest strong suit, especially when creating music. And then that translates into like the live performance is our chemistry with one another, and kind of knowing if I'm rapping and I might forget a line, Top might sense it and see it, and just will just jump in, and then and you know what I mean? It's just feeding off of one another. So that's the blessing in being in a group, though. It's like you got this band of brothers that is just got your back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can definitely see the benefits of that instead of just being the only one on stage, right?
That's nerve-wracking, just being the one person. I'll do shows by myself, and it's not as fun. It's fun when my brothers is there. It's fun when I can look across and I see Bodie Rock wilding out. You know what I'm saying? And so that makes it fun. I'm grateful to be able to do this with my family, with my brothers, you know what I mean? So that's a blessing for sure.
Yeah, that must be such a great experience that you guys can share, and think back on 30 years from now.
Yeah, for sure.
And now let's talk a little bit about Westside Gunn, because I know you've known him for a few years now. Is there anything you've learned from him without him directly teaching it to you?
Yeah, Gunn is somebody who, if you study and watch, you'll get the game. Like, you'll understand how to maneuver in this industry and how to maneuver with family and things like that. So if you just study and watch, you know what I'm saying? He might not blatantly say something to teach you, like, yo, this is it. But if you study and watch, you're like, okay, that's how you're supposed to move. That's how you talk to people. And then you take that and apply it. But then there's other times where he literally has told us, he was on stage doing like a sound check for his show he had with Erykah Badu, and he literally was on stage. He's like, "Yo, I hope y'all are paying attention and studying, because I'm gonna make sure you understand this and you get this." So he's like literally like teaching us the game and teaching us the industry, and that for me is a blessing, because a lot of time people they don't care to give people the recipe or give people the keys. He's giving us the keys to where we can do this and be self-sufficient, you know what I'm saying? So, and be successful just in life in general. So I'm grateful for sure.
Do you see any parallels between what Griselda has built and what Feed the Family is building now?
Yeah, I think that a lot of things they put in motion is things that we've either directly like emulated or put into practice, or indirectly put into practice for sure. But even just the fact of, they came from Buffalo, and there's nobody ever in Buffalo that came out of Buffalo. And it's similar to Boston. We've had a few people, but nobody ever really did it like that. To be able to be some of the first people, I don't know no rappers from Boston that have done a European tour. Like, I don't know none. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? We're doing things that have never been done before. So just to know that that's the same path that they forged for their city, that's the goal that we try to bring back to Boston, is forge that same path
and put Boston on the map the same way Griselda did for Buffalo. And I think that's so beautiful, me coming from a small town myself. And speaking about your hometown, Boston, is there anything that people misunderstand about Boston? I
think the biggest thing people don't, like outsiders, they don't even know that there's like a whole black population and black culture. We have a strong like Caribbean culture, big African American population, and a lot of times like all you see in either like movies or shows or like the media is just one side of Boston, so you don't see this other side. So I think that's like the biggest misconception that people have for Boston.
Let's say I landed in Boston tomorrow and I wanted to understand Shaykh Hanif better as an artist. What 3 places should I visit?
I would take you to where I grew up at. So I'm from the South End section of Boston. So I'm from Mass Ave and Washington Street. And I literally, like, the next block over is Boston Medical Center. That's a hospital. It used to be Boston City Hospital. That's the hospital I was born in. So like and then like this whole like 2-3 block radius is like my stomping grounds. I went to school in that area, so I was really born and raised in that neighborhood. So even just coming to that, you'll see that area and see what's going on. Literally, like 2-3 blocks down is Methadone Mile. That's where a lot of, like, it's almost like, I don't know if you know, like in LA, like Skid Row or something like that. That's where a lot of like homelessness and addiction has been centralized in this one area. Growing up, that neighborhood I grew up was really drug infested, a lot of crime, but it was one of the first neighborhoods in Boston to be gentrified. So they kind of like pushed a lot of that families out, but really that element of like into just one central like block, couple blocks down, to where that's, it's that, but you could see a lot and kind of get understanding of the environment we were, even though it's like been gentrified now, but it's still, you could still see the remnants of, what we were growing up in,
So I want to know, what's the question that you wish more interviewers would ask you?
That's a good question. Yeah, I'm not the best interviewer because it's always like kind of like difficult for me. I don't really like to talk much. So I don't know even what is a question that, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I can't think of none, I'll be just thinking. Sometimes I'll get in interviews and I'll just be like, yo, when is this going to be over? But not Nat's Lounge, though. This is great. Not Nat's Lounge, of course not. Yeah.
So I was about to ask you, is that how you feel right now? But I just wanted to give you an opportunity to, answer something that you wish more people asked you, but if you don't have anything, I get it.
I think more so, I think that a lot of times interviewers, they don't necessarily do like their homework or something like that, or really find out. It's like, okay, I know who he is, let's get him on the platform. And so that is more so about like damn, did you even listen to, what I mean? I'll be like, I want to know, like, what's your favorite song, or what's your favorite project? So now I know, like, okay, this person's tapped in, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure.
Well, I can already tell you my favorite song, or one of my favorite songs, Iftar at Tiffany's. But we also talked about that, like the wordplay with, Iftar, which means...
That's when, you break your fast, and, in Ramadan, you break your fast. So just play on words instead of breakfast at Tiffany's, Iftar at Tiffany's,
Breakfast at Tiffany's is my favorite movie, and I just love when two worlds collide or meet in that way.
Shout out to Camouflage Monk on that beat. That's the bro. Gives you that kind of feeling of that like elegance, but it's like you're talking some grimy shit, and that's kind of like my lane is like grimy opulence. It's like that dichotomy of both worlds. Yeah, for sure.
And lastly, years from now, you're a bit older. What do you hope people remember about Shaykh Hanif?
The biggest thing I would love to be remembered is not necessarily even like rap or music oriented. It's just like, this is somebody that came up from some of the harshest conditions, like the majority of dudes or people in the inner city, right? Coming up in these harshest conditions, but had a plan, saw it through, and executed and made it happen. It's like a lot of this is just the beginning. It's not so much centered on music, like, just helping people, like helping dudes that have done time. I teach like financial literacy for dudes that just came home, help them start businesses, help them get their records sealed, or things like that. Just giving back, because I know what it's like to come home and not know where to start. You know what I'm saying? So helping, just giving back. And so like those are the type of things that I'd rather be remembered for. Not necessarily, oh, he was a great rapper and that's cool, but that's not like my main focus. You know what I mean?
So you're big on helping people because you felt like no one was really there to help, or you wanted a bit more I don't know, maybe support when you got out? Or
Not necessarily in that sense. I definitely had a good support system when I came home, even when I was doing my bit. But it's more so like there is people who don't have that support system. So what, we just, because they don't got it, it's like, all right, figure it out on your own. Like, nah, I know what it's like to come home and kind of what are the things that people need. So being able to use my resources and my platform to kind of shed light on that and help walk people through those things, that's really, I feel like, is my true calling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like we need more people like that in the world. So
I mean, you know, one person at a time, help somebody, and the person could help 2-3 people, and then, you know, it just trickles down.
well, thank you so much for helping me with this interview.
Of course.
And helping me understand you better and your entire universe, and Feed the Feminist universe. It's truly been a pleasure both seeing you at the concert yesterday, but also talking to you.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me, Nat. Appreciate you.
What started in Boston has now taken you across multiple countries. What started in Boston has... What started in... Mic check. Mic check 1, 2, 3. Mic check 1, 2, 3.
Mic check 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yo.
And as an artist, but also just as a person. And that's where you reverted. Is it called converted or reverted?
Reverted.
Because we say convert.
Well, so that's the thing in Islam. You want to get this on camera?
Yeah, but I was like, is it called reverted?
Yeah, but it is reverted because in Islam, we believe everybody's born Muslim. Everybody.
Makes sense.
So you're not like you convert to Islam.
Yeah.
You revert back.
Okay,
to
makes
Islam.
sense. Makes sense.
We're all born. Muslims just mean one who, that is submission to God.
Yeah.
But that's just the way of, as Muslims, we make it a point to say we reverted because that's just acknowledging that we was always Muslim.
Yeah.
In the Quran, it says, you're born Muslim. It's your parents that make you a Christian, an atheist, or whatever. Let's say somebody jumps out and scares you. Majority of the time, people will be like, "Say what? What they say?" Like if somebody scares you or you stub your toe, that's what you say. If somebody scares you.
Yeah.
People will scare you. Like, "Oh my God."
Yeah, true. I don't remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, my foot is sleeping. I cannot stand on it.